What is good, everybody? I am finally back. Yes, finally back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and review over the first run Saki Slammer. Now, we all know when Ricky Wysocki was with Innova, he loved the Innova Pig, so it's no surprise that he wanted his own signature slower speed overstable disc, and that just happens to be the SOCKIBOMB Slammer. Now, from my understanding, the SOCKIBOMB Slammer is the bottom of a harp, but with a thumb track, going to be much more overstable than the harp. Now, the overall feel of the Slammer in my hand is, personally, I think it's a little bit too deep for me, and the outer rim here kind of digs in between my thumb and my pointer finger, and it's somewhat uncomfortable. And this could be because I am so used to the Discraft zones, and if I'm throwing a slower speed overstable disc, it's going to be a zone. So this is definitely totally preference, but I do think this outer rim here is a bit sharp when I throw it on forehands, and that's mostly what I'm using these overstable slower speeds for, is forehands. Now, the backhand grip feels pretty normal, feels just like I would think. It doesn't really dig into my hand or feel uncomfortable. So overall, that is good. But let's get to the field, test the SOCKIBOMB Slammer out, and compare it between the Pig, the Zone, and also a harp, and kind of see how it flies a little bit different. And they're definitely my most comparable discs to this Slammer, so let's go test it out. All right, guys, we have made it to the field. Like I said, I have a ESP Zone, a harp, which I've never actually thrown. I only have it because I got the die of my logo on it. A brand new Ricky Wysocki Pig from last year. And then, of course, the SOCKIBOMB Slammer. So I'm gonna just try and compare all four of these discs. Like I said before, they are my most comparable. So let's see how overstable compared to these three discs that the SOCKIBOMB actually is, because that's what I'm hearing, and that's kind of what I've experienced, but I haven't put them to the test with all three. So I'm going to be starting off with some backhands, because with my backhand, we're going to be able to tell the stability more than if I throw them forehand, because my forehand with the slower speeds is a little wobbly, and I really want to find out the stability actually of this Slammer, and I just think we're going to be able to see that more with my backhand. I will throw some forehands after and just kind of go from there and see what we think of the Slammer. That is pretty overstable. That did not hold flat very long before it just kind of dumped out. We'll go with the Ricky Pig next. Came out with a little bit of hyzer. Still not seeing too much difference. Probably have to look at all these side by side to really tell, but what's really going to be the decider is how much further maybe the harp and Pig are. If the Slammer is that much more overstable, I think that'll kind of tell us, you know, if I'm throwing the same distance, but the overstableness of the disc is getting it to the ground quicker. We're going to be able to tell that by distance. Okay, so most definitely just by distance, these three discs all went further than the SOCKIBOMB, which kind of just tells me that you have to throw this much more harder because it is that much more overstable. The harp went the furthest, and I really do feel like I threw all these pretty much the same power. So the harp definitely went like 50, 60 past, which seems kind of crazy, but that could just be props to how overstable this disc is. Let's throw some ante shots, see what the difference is there, and see what pans out fastest, starting with the Slammer. Definitely threw it pretty high, and it had plenty of time to come out of it. And hopefully the camera caught that because it's all the way like over here. But the Pig panned out a long time. Way more than I had expected. Maybe I put a little bit more ante on it. Definitely thought the Pigs were much more overstable than what that showed. I personally don't really throw Pigs, so I don't completely know. The Zone has much more of a slower pan. You could see it kind of get off the ante angle but it's still kind of riding it and then pans. All right, lastly with the backhand, I'm just gonna throw the slammer as hard as I can on Annie, see if it fights out the same way that it does, say, a medium power shot. So as hard as I can on Annie, let's see what happens. Definitely for an intermediate player like myself, I think you're gonna find that with the SOCKIBOMB, your distance is gonna be slightly more cut off with the stableness of it. But let's throw it on a few forehands, see if I can replicate some of these other discs or see what it does. Alright guys, what I would say from the forehand aspect is that they are all still finishing right. I gotta be honest, my forehand kind of just sucks right now, and they're all coming out wobbly and kind of ugly, but they all are still finishing right like I would expect. I don't see any crazy like differences other than the fact that I just can't push the slammer as far as any of these 3 discs. These 3 discs have went further every single shot I have thrown, and like I said, I'm trying to use the same power for all. I am glad that I threw them backhand because there is where you can really tell how much more overstable the slammer is than some of these because of how fast it kind of pans out. You can throw this with a lot of power on Annie and still watch it pan out, which is pretty insane for, you know, a slower speed disc. What I see myself throwing it mainly for is maybe some upshots or some shorter holes through the woods where I really want to put a lot of Annie on a disc that comes out quickly and just kind of starts panning left. And my biggest complaint is just kind of the forehand grip and how it feels. I just do not really like it personally, which is fine. Everybody has a disc for them and what kind of works for them. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for the support. Even when I wasn't posting videos, we were still gaining subscribers. We are getting really close to 1,500 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. So thank you guys so much for the support. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Go follow me on chaseandchains_ on Instagram where I post there daily, and we will see you on the next one.